Hey everybody, this is Brett. Are you ready for Sunday Night Live? You'll notice I didn't scream. Like on television they'd be like, "Are you ready for Sunday Night Live?" Something like that. Nope. And that's what tonight's presentation is all about. Smoothing everything out. Now, that doesn't mean boring. On the contrary, it means cool because it's a lot more sustainable. You'll notice in our world that things that are crazy can oftentimes get destroyed. And so it's good to be, what's the word? Not restricted, but it's good to be relaxed. It's good to be reserved. It's good to be contemplative. Yeah. Before you act. And a lot of this pretty much is just for me a matter of getting there. Practice. Each minute, each day, one day, each minute at a time. And sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's harder. And it ebbs and flows. But if you come back in 1 year and you listen to me, I'll be even smoother. Smoother in all regards. I'll be taking less chances on things. I'll be ahead of the game better. I'll have more reserves in every regard. And I will have less noise outside of the apartment and inside the apartment. I'll probably not be listening to any music most of the time or watching videos. I'll probably just be humming to myself and or creating my own scenario. And on that note, how about we do a short meditation? Let's do one. There's 2 of you with me right now. I'm not going to put any kind of rules on this meditation. I want you to think about what would make you the most mellow. How could you be in your mind and in your body, everything, the most mellow for the next few minutes? And we won't even put a time limit on it. So we're just going to be mellow. Okay. So that was the mellow meditation. Let's do another one. Let's do one where we visualize that we are as like God as we can be. Before we start, think of all the various aspects that you envision God to be. God or Jesus, whatever. All the characteristics, the good things that you would think that God is. How could you be that? Okay, so starting right now, be as godly as you can be for the next few minutes. Okay. Did you feel of God? I did. I envisioned centeredness. Nothing could move me from that centeredness. So I got a new cup. Do you like it? Cool, huh? Pete, the potter, made that recently for me. I got a deal on it too, $40. I was thinking to myself, I probably could have gone to the thrift store or to a Dollar General, right? And bought 10 crappy cups for $40. But then I wouldn't want to drink out of any of them like I like to drink out of this one. So it's better to have one really cool cup, handmade cool cup, than 10 crappy ones that you don't want to use, right? That's my thinking. Here's another thing that might be good to think about. The less number of people that you're connecting with, but the higher quality of people that you're connecting with, it's just like the cups. And so I think that I should stay with that theme with people as I do everything else. I think that as long as I keep making super high quality products, people will keep buying them. I think that as long as I keep eating super high quality foods, I'll be able to continue to make super high quality products. And I'll be able to continue to attract super high quality people in my life. People that are like how I just tried to be, and hopefully you just tried to be in that last meditation. Close to God. How is God? We may have different opinions, but for me, God is in the center. And so if you're in the center, you can't die. Oh, your body can die. But if you're in the center, you don't have fear because you know you can't die. By the same token, you know that this body and this life are a gift so that you can improve upon your spirit by doing exercises, sustainable exercises. Sustainable exercises are the ones where you're not endangering your health. That's what I think, anyway. Some people need extremes. Thank God I'm getting away from that. Yes, sometimes I get really pissed off, but a whole lot more of the time these days, I'm only attracting 4 viewers. Yeah, that's a good sign. If I get too bored, if I get too boring, the person that can't handle it will leave. And that's perfect for me. I only want centered people to watch me. I only want to be connected to centered people. People that like nature and whole foods and birdies. And cups. Before I started this presentation tonight, if you want to call it that, I was thinking about how when I first started Sunday Night Live, I was nervous. and now I don't think I'm even that much nervous now to talk with you guys. Oh, now it's 3 people live. Do I look nervous? I'm not even a tiny bit. I'm not stuttering. I'm not messing up my words. Nothing. I'm totally good to go. So, what else would I like to talk about? I did a Sunday Night Live 2 weeks ago. And that was the first night of putting coats on the bottom of the shoes, the new shoes. And I told you that I had to keep putting coats on for the next several days until the soles were thick enough, right? Do you remember that? It turned out that I had to keep putting coats on the shoes every 1 to 3 hours for 5 days. 5 days and nights. That's right. Every time I got up to pee every couple of hours, which is about how often I have to get up to pee, I had to wake my ass up and put on another coat of latex on the bottom of the shoes. And so Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all those nights and days, I put coat after coat after coat after coat on the bottom of those shoes. Oh. For some dumb reason, I was thinking I could add a picture like it's Facebook. Anyways, so it's now been 9 days since I finished the last coat. And so we're working into today. Now it's the 10th day, starting of the 10th day of drying. It's been drying without putting any coats on for starting now 10 days. And so I'll go get one of the shoes. Maybe I'll just grab both of them and I'll show you what it looks like. It's not near cured enough. It's got to cure for at least another month. Okay, so that's without the orthotics in them. The bottom has 1/4 of an inch of wool felt. The orthotics will add another 1/4 of an inch of wool felt. That's the right shoe. And here's the left one. So the way that I know, in case you didn't hear me the last time I was talking, the way that I know if it's cured well enough or not is to just take a little bit of water or spit and put it on there. And if it starts to turn white in that spot, then it's reabsorbing the liquid and it's not cured. You can see that it's not cured. See the white spot where I put a little bit of spit? It's not cured. It's still soft rubber after 9 days. So to get to where it's like this, See that rubber there? To get to where it's like that takes 5 or 6 weeks. If I walk on wet grass with this, it won't turn white because it's been curing for, I don't know, 6 months or something. But those new shoes are going to be so awesome. Those shoes are going to fit my feet like a glove because they're custom made. And yeah, it's really, really exciting. Most people would say it's boring. You know, what I think is boring is that people commit to one lover, one mate. That's boring. I would go nuts. I'm going to go get me some coffee. So stick around. So check it out. You know how most people buy those paper coffee filters? Here's mine. Here's one of mine. It's a piece of organic cotton material. And I've used it over and over and over again. I just put it on that screen, pour the coffee through it, use it over and over. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the evolution of my musical thing. So instead of actually listening to a song from my past that I really liked, I just sing it in my head or out loud. And I can take any song, even an aggressive song, and sing it mellowly. Like I can turn a really aggressive, crazy song into a gentle song. So name any song there in the chat and I'll sing it to you. Something that you think that I might know. Name a song. Crap, now there's nobody watching. Everybody checked out. That's funny. Fly by night away from here. Change my life again. Fly by night, goodbye, my dear. Ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Start a new chapter, find what I'm after. It's changing every day. Change of the seasons, enough of a reason to want to get away. Quiet and pensive, my thoughts apprehensive, the hours slip away. Leaving my homeland, na, 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 my life begins today. Fly by night, good away from here, ba, change my life again. Doo-doo. Fly by night, goodbye, my dear. Ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Cool, huh? You can turn any song, even nasty songs, into nice songs, and all you have to do is sing them nice. It's funny, huh? I know, see, everything is simple. Everything is totally simple. Let's take something that recently happened in the news that all of you are aware of, right? This Charlie guy that just got executed. Charlie, what's his name? Somebody write it in the chat there. The right-wing extremist guy speaker that got killed in Utah. That's about 20 miles from my hometown where he got killed. 20 miles from my hometown, Payson, Utah. So, okay, so everyone thinks that this was a really horrible thing. And if you look at it physically, well, yeah, it is. But if you're constantly just in a state of physicality and not in your spiritual state of being, it's going to be pretty rough for you in this life. So the people on the right claim to have a degree of spirituality. They claim to be believers in Jesus and this and that. They also claim that they want to go to heaven and things like that. Well, if this guy was really a good person, then that's where he got to go. Right? He's in heaven. As you get older, you'll see that it's painful. Your body gets in more pain than when you were young. When I was young, there were other problems, more like financial problems and worrying problems over the finances, etc. As you get older, hopefully you've gotten smarter. Hopefully you've listened to what I've told you about eating healthy and cleaning out your body. I started when I was 26. If you start early, you can really get a lot of good work done year after year, getting rid of the processed foods, getting rid of the wheat and dairy, getting rid of the mass-produced meat, like I've told you. And yes, it's difficult, but if you don't do it, you're going to be clogged and fat and full of viruses and bacteria. So this is your opportunity to get ahead and not have to have so much pain when you're old, like so many people do. But this guy, Charlie, he got to exit stage left early. Whereas the guy that killed him is going to have to sit in jail and rot for his whole life. So, I mean, you can think, what I'm trying to tell you is that you can think of just about anything in any way that you want to. Now, it's really hard for his wife, etc. And it's really hard for a lot of people that liked him. But it wouldn't be so hard for a lot of people, the people that liked him, if they'd think about it in a different way, which is what I'm suggesting. And I'm just using that as an example in the moment because that's what's in the headlines. But you can take anything and turn it into a positive, or at least a neutral agenda thing. Everything that I'm talking about tonight is all about the title of this Sunday Night Live, which is Smoothing Everything Out. You won't be able to just smooth everything out all of a sudden. Each day, you work a little tiny bit, a little bit more at smoothing all of the things out. So you could think about something right now that's not smooth in your life. Something that when you think about it, it causes pain, or it causes physical pain, emotional stress. Take a deep breath. Think about that thing. And now use some sort of a tool to smooth it out. I'm going to go grab a tool. I'll be back in a minute. And bear in mind, I'm not telling you that I'm smooth all the time. We're doing this exercise together so that we can both get smoother. This is an ACE. It's an ACE, not a spatula. What do you call these? I can't even remember what you call these now. It's a putty knife. I use it for filling wood holes with putty. So I smooth, see? You smooth it with this tool. And so think about this tool and think about the problem that you have that gets you all emotionally upset. And think about using this tool to smooth it out. You could reason it out. You could smooth it out by reasoning it out. Is it really that big of a thing that you need to worry about it or fret over it or have a big shit fit over it? I used to think that my problems with getting along with my family was a really big thing. And perhaps at one time it was. But now it's not. I haven't seen any of my family for 10 years. I stayed at my mom's for a little while when I was in between places. But before that, I hadn't talked to them for a long time before that either. So really, for the better part of the last 20 years, almost, I have hardly talked to my family. And that seemed like a really big thing at one time. But now that I'm older and I have more of a perspective on life, I'm not stressed about it at all. I think about it sometimes, but I don't get stressed about it. I'm just thinking about the now and more so the future. And the past doesn't bother me much anymore. You could even say that to yourself right now because there's no reason. It doesn't make any sense to allow the past to bother you anymore. You could say with me right now, I can let go of the past. Breathe. I can just release the past and not worry about what any of those people think about me. I know who I am. I know I am awesome. I know I've done my best. Anybody that doesn't like it, oh well. Oh well. I guess they'll just have to do something, whatever. I don't care. Here's to you, baby. Think about the drama in songs. Okay, so love that mindset. No reason to let something you can't change, the past, bother or affect you. Yep. Thanks for the comment. So here's something that I've been putting together more in my mind about the general public. So everything is connected, right? You're starting to get that I've told you that 1,000 times or more, that everything is connected. And it's not just when you rub your feet in certain places, it's affecting other parts of your body. It's reflexology to other parts of your body. It's not just that. It's also that we know that most people are addicted to processed food, right? If they're dairy addicts and they're sugar addicts and they're processed food addicts and they're chemical addicts, then they're probably doing a lot of things and they're acting a lot of ways and their lifestyles are chaotic in a lot of ways because of their diets, and their lifestyles are chaotic, and that's affecting the way they eat, right? And with me, you see that I've totally cleaned up all of those things that my ancestors gave me from when I was born. I was addicted to sugar, but I reversed all of that over years, decades. I reversed all of that over decades. And now I feel a lot smoother, in control of my life. Whereas other people are like, they're driving down the road, they lose control of their vehicles and it hits a pole. They get pulled over by the police. All kinds of things happen in their lives. They're driving at night a lot. They're going to bars. They're doing all kinds of things that they know can get them in trouble, right? But I don't do any of that anymore. At the same time, I know I can't do anything about all those people out there, millions of people. They're just on their own journey. But the one thing that I can do is I can look out for these people. And you got to be on it in this world, because see, Yeah, you got to look out for animals once in a while if you're out hiking in the woods. But that's only a little thing. The thing that you most have to look out for in this world is the nutsoid humans. The animals are all natural. Somebody with an email that Hunter is in the email, Hunter T something at something is in his email name. And he asked me if I eat meat. And I said, yeah, I still eat wild meat sometimes. That's the key, wild. And then I think he asked me if I hunt. Yeah, he asked me if I hunt. And I said, no. In fact, I'm working towards eating a plant-based diet. I'd like to get to where I'm eating a plant-based diet. And then I told him something that really made him think. I told him that really, I like the animals a lot of the time, a lot more than I like the humans. Yeah. How many of you have those same thoughts? That you like the animals a whole lot of the time when you don't like the humans a whole lot of the time. And and so we could take that conversation a lot farther. But I think I'll just leave that where it's at, because you can't talk about a lot of things like that with people, or you'll get yourself in trouble because you're going against them. You're going against them. And they can do things to you. We know that, right? We saw that with this Charlie guy. People are, if they're addicts, if they're food addicts and they're drug addicts and they're workaholic addicts, all these different things are nutcases, they can do to you. Liberals, conservatives. There's so many nutcases out there. But it would be better for us to do another meditation. Let's think of another one. Hey, Blaze33, can you think of when you weren't here a little while ago, we did a couple of meditations. First, we did the smoothing meditation. Then we did the thinking like we're God, like pretending to be of God meditation. You can do any kind of a meditation. You could call it a prayer if you want. You can call it a meta prayer. You can call it prayeritation. You can call it anything you want. We can just make up things. As long as the time we spend doing whatever it is smoothing the vibe out, coming to center. See how I took this twisty and I made it straight? It was all curvy like that. But we're going to smooth it out. We're going to get it all smooth in our minds. Okay, so let's do a smooth breathing exercise, meditation, prayer. Smooth breathing. Thinking about all the oxygen. peaceful oxygen. And everything is so smooth and relaxed, gentle. Allowing, accepting, knowing that we don't know everything, but it's okay because creation does. It wants us to succeed. And all we have to do is do natural healing exercises. Eat naturally, live as naturally and intelligently as we can, not worry about everyone else, even though only a tiny percentage of people are doing these things. We come to realize that only a tiny percentage of people are actually doing natural eating and natural living and holistic health exercises like this. We don't think of it as something that's daunting. No. If you want to, you can. You can think of it as like the most horrible thing. You're all alone. I'm all alone. I'm the only one that's living and eating and thinking and doing holistic health exercises. No. You're blessed. You're lucky to be one of the elite. In all honesty, if you're doing all of these things like me, you're one of a tiny percentage of people that are working holistically, mental, physical, spiritual, and emotionally towards the center. And all of the rest of those people that have to have a winner and a loser. We won the game. We lost the game. We won the game. We lost the game. I had a boyfriend, but now I lost him. Think about that. You had something and then you lost it. Or you had something bad, but now it's gone away. You could just be you, which is something beyond what you can even understand. You can just think of yourself as an evolving spirit of a ball of energy. You don't know exactly what you'll turn into in the next life. You don't even know if you'll have a next life, but you're okay with it because as long as you're with creation, which is natural, you won't experience the lows and the highs. You can just be in the center. You don't have to be a roller coaster. You can just be like hills, gentle hills floating along. You can dance. You can turn on some music. You don't have to listen to any music at all. You can just hum a tune in your own mind. A little while ago, I was talking about how you don't have to listen to music if you don't want to. You can just sing songs peacefully and quietly in your own mind. There was a man, Bojangles, and he danced for me in worn out shoes. I don't know how that one goes. Let's see. Trying to think of a song. If I start singing songs, everyone will leave. Anyways, I think that I'd like to just thank you for joining me. And I hope that you understood what this presentation was all about and that you can engage it into your own life. Smooth everything out. Take things that society says are really bad and turn them into something good. And anyone that dies, well, they went to heaven. They went to a better place than this world full of addicts. It's not such a bad deal to die. You can just create a new mentality about that you can keep and use till you die. And believe me, eventually you're going to need it. So you might as well make something good out of it now and continue to keep that mentality. And yeah, another thing, look at how many excess people, low quality people there are in the world. So if a whole crap load of them die, is it such a bad thing for the rest of humanity? Believe me, every time something happens, lessons are learned. Lessons are always learned. That's one of the benefits, one of the many benefits for tragedies, So anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining me, and all is well here. I've been doing a lot of sewing, a lot of shipping. I recently improved the Foot Friend massage tool inserts, and those are getting made by my woodworker right now. I'm going to go pick them up pretty soon. I'm getting a new squatter for me so that I can make some squatting videos in public where I ask people, do you know what I'm doing? While I'm squatting on the squatting platform. A nice meditation I used to do was make a tea, put on some classical music, sit in a dark room, and light a tea candle. And just look at the flame and think about whatever. That sounds good. Here, I've got something for you to look at for a minute. Want to see another one? Okay, so before I leave, I would like to sing a song. No, I don't want to sing that. Oh, no. Nope, I don't want to sing that. I thought maybe I'd like to sing that, but I don't. So we'll just end it there. And yeah, I hope that you liked this little presentation and that you got something out of it. It's, it's, I don't believe that I said anything that was just like a mind boggling thing for you to just like turn your whole life around. No, that's not where I'm at anymore. I don't have any of those crazy, whatever you want to call it, anymore. These are all just things for a person to kind of grasp a little bit and keep going with their lives, make tiny adjustments here and there, and just yeah, flow into a new gradual reality. You know, I'll keep doing it, Stephen. I will, whatever it may be. It will be things that are sustainable. And I ponder on exactly what is sustainable and what is not. And everything ebbs and flows and changes. And to think that what's sustainable today is going to be sustainable tomorrow, maybe, maybe not. And so I think that I'll leave it at that. Thanks everyone for joining me. Be well.